Hello and good afternoon. My name is Zoe Turpin, and during my 5 weeks with the ProX internship, I had the honor of working with the event ops team at the Children's Mercy Philanthropy program. Today, I will talk about expanding the CMRI Conference Center so that external organizations can use it as a resource. Expanding the CMRI Conference Center as an external organization presented by me. So when I first started at Children's Mercy, we had orientation on day one, like most internships did. And I was very surprised when my first day I walked into a conference center and not a hospital. I then learned that that would be my main office and I would be working there in the philanthropy department. But what I then learned is that the CMRI opened in 2021 and is a very, very new building. The first floor is open solely to the community, as well as going to the garden level and the auditorium, which are used for event spaces for other people. And the 5 points listed above are what we call our areas of emphasis that we dedicate to the floors 2 through 9 that are used for expanding our healthcare opportunities. Opportunities for improvement that I saw at my internship were mainly looking internally as we try to expand the conference center. I saw that we had sort of a lack of staff. This was mainly due to the fact that the conference center is very, very new, and the entire building it's a very young building. We don't have many policies set in place about whether or not we know if we're going to have them, if we can even have the conference center open for free for this whole time. As of right now, all of the event places and centers are completely free and no charge to all of external and internal organizations. But we don't know if that's going to be. We can only operate during event or office hours and only on weekdays. Looking externally and talking to other people about research, I got feedback that there was sort of a lack of awareness still that the conference center even existed, sort of like the general public and me would know. And also, a lot of nonprofit external organizations that are coming into Children's Mercy have connections to the actual hospital and may even be an employee. So there was this sort of sensitivity to them coming where maybe walking through the hospital wasn't necessarily something they wanted to do while they were off business hours at Children's Mercy. So looking into trying to figure out how we can exceed our external right now, because right now we only had 23% of events hosted were external events from fiscal year 2024. And looking into how we can help them, I found that the average hourly cost for for hosting an event space in the Greater KC Metro was $110. Now, all of this money that they are putting into meeting an event space is money they are losing for their population, which is really what we want nonprofits to do. Also finding that there are over 15,000 nonprofit organizations in the Greater KC Metro area, and if Children's Mercy can help even 1,000 of those in the time of using this conference center, we want to be able to do it. So, the solution I came up with was creating awareness among target nonprofit organizations that the CMRI Conference Center offers complimentary meeting space for small groups on weekdays during office hours. And a timeline of this solution is as follows. Identifying the audience, which we start with partner organizations from that value the same core community values that we have in the Children's Mercy organization. We have around 60 partner organizations as of right now, and we kind of want to narrow that down to a target around 12, just to make sure that we're not crazy and expanding our barriers very quickly and we're not prepared. We want to perfect the system first and then slowly grow into all of these 60 organizations. Next is the barriers and pain points. In response to our already established internal barriers, we can identify that smaller meetings during traditional business hours and weekdays are more fitting for our event space. Next is research. As I already said, I had done a few research with external events. I did research by meeting with partner organizations from Ronald McDonald and someone who had worked with Children's Mercy from an organization called Connext to figure out the barriers with identifying meeting space and hosting meetings offsite. The continuous feedback will be crucial as we grow. Next is creating awareness, and by doing so, we can create potential flyers, as shown, that kind of summarize what we need to do and summarize what is available to them at the Children's Mercy Conference Center and how we can sort of help them to summarize how we can help them to host an event at our space. After I leave, I recommend that they create a survey for guests after events so that they can talk about how they hosted, the event planning, how it went, the process of the event planning, whether that be catering or parking, just something so we can continue to grow even after I leave. And also, right now, there is not really a Children's Mercy Research Institute website. So as we build and grow into that, we can create a specific page specifically for the conference center that can help summarize again online that then anyone from the general public or a nonprofit could go to find something. And lastly, email info to start with our target 12 that will be directly sent to them so that they can know that it is directly from us and show how much we actually really want to help the community. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for me?